Man, that thing hooks and spawns, and then it gets pretty ugly right there.
Yeah, we get serious about racing. There's no doubt about it. When the lid goes down, I'm there to beat him.
There's a lot of tough competition out here. We're fixing that to put a sham mammal lamb on them. That's Texas. We'll go fast.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Lucas Oil IHBA Drag Boat Racing Series. Ken Stout, Alan Reinhardt, and Terry Boyd bringing you all the action from the T-ShirtsUnlimited.com Super Nationals presented by K&N. We're bringing you all the action here today on speed in high definition. It'll be the most beautiful boat you've ever seen in the clearest picture, and courtesy of the alcohol categories, both top alcohol hydro and, of course, the alcohol flatties.
Before we get into alcohol hydro, let's join Terry Boyd behind the scenes.
Hanging out in the pits of Kevin Kinsley in the top alcohol hydro class, and Kevin has his foot in two forms of very dangerous motorsports racing. He races on an NHRA pushing the 300-mile-an-hour envelope, and here at IHBA over 200 miles an hour. You're sitting on your couch going, okay, in the family driver, I'm worried about my safety at 60 miles an hour. Let's be honest, Kevin, when you're driving this fast, whether you're on asphalt or on water, there's only so far you can take driver safety, but you are the guy who is really at the forefront.
Well, we helped design the first totally enclosed capsule back in '87 for the Coors Light team, and it's come a long way since then. We have a lot more chromoly tubing in the capsule now. We have a lot more flotation in it. We're foaming the drivers in the seat so it fits them a lot more comfortable. More head protection. We wear the Hans device. I mean, it's really come a long way since we first started.
As in all forms of motorsports, safety at the forefront, and it's an evolution.
All right, here's a look at the ladder with the top alcohol hydro category, and it is Kent Price, who is your number one qualifier. He'll line up in round one here alongside Troy Perry.
And that's a big matchup because with the six-boat ladder, the winner of this one will get a bye run into the semis. A 2-for-1 sale here. Whoever lights up the scoreboard races into final.
They'll get the countdown on the Christmas tree on their side. Stab the throttle, and here we go.
Kent was a number one qualifier. He got a huge reaction time advantage, and this one's over. That's a wire-to-wire shot. Check it out, 5:48. How about 220 miles an hour?
Really good lap here in top alcohol hydro. The boat just takes a nice early set. Take a look at the rooster tail. It is picture perfect right there. There's that nice pocket of air right underneath the center of the boat. That's the way one's supposed to look. A little hop right at the very end, though.
Perry's boat just never got comfortable here in our super shot, and he's done for the day.
That replay courtesy of Super Clean. So let's continue on here. Top alcohol hydro. We're still in round number one. Next pair will be Darren Dunnigan and Joe Blattler. Joe Blattler also doing a great job in qualifying as he qualified in the number 2 spot. Capsule lids down as they let go of the hold rope. And the hit of the throttle, Blattler in trouble right off the bat. It looks like it's going to be all Dunnigan, provided he can keep it between the lines.
And he does, not quite Price-like numbers, but at 590 and 203 miles an hour, he'll go to the second round. Let's see if we can figure out what happened to Blattler. Blattler just dead right at the very hit of the throttle. On the other side, Dunnigan really yanking up that left front sponson as that thing got a bite right off the starting line.
Darren Dunnigan taking it to the bank here this afternoon. Picture perfect run.
Yeah, it felt really good. You know, yesterday we had a little bit of problems with some wiring on this, and so we had a decent run first round of qualifying, but this felt really good. I'd like to get out of the eights a little bit, but it was a nice smooth run. That's all that matters.
Next step, big boys are in your future. Do you got what you need?
Yeah, I think so. A couple weeks ago at Red Bluff, we were runner-up, so, we'll give it all we got.
All right, next pair here in round number one will be Kevin Kinsley and Jeff Gregory, qualified number 3 and number 4 on the ladder. On paper, certainly matches up to be a great race. Here's a good look at Kevin Kinsley and a spectacular-looking machine called Bad Habit.
And there's Jeff Gregory's ride as they get set. The countdown comes up, the capsule's down, and here we go. Final pair, round one, alcohol hydro. Kinsley, deadly on the starting line as he has been throughout his entire career, and that's a nice, solid side-by-side run. It's better if you're Kevin Kinsley. 578, 209 wins it. Gregory right there at 584 and 202.
Welcome back to Chowchilla. You're watching the Lucas Oil IHBA Drag Boat Racing Series, and the Flatties are up next. Wheel stands, we got them, no doubt. These guys always have a handful just getting to the finish line without something going crazy. Here's a look at the ladder and your number 1 qualifier, Johnny Heidemann.
And just as we saw in the Hydros, a 6-boat field, so this is a monster matchup in round number 1. It's 2 for 1. Whoever wins this pair will have a solo, and he'll race for the trophy.
That was a look at Porter. That is Johnny Heidemann there as he pulls the capsule lid down. The last thing they try to do is turn that boat as straight as possible when they let go of the rope. Heidemann with a much better reaction time, 7/10 advantage right off the get-go, and then lays down a monster run at 179.72 miles per hour, the fastest top alcohol flat bottom pass ever made.
Mark Porter had problems right off the starting line, but hey, if it's any consolation, not much chance you're going to track down a guy that's going 179 miles an hour.
Man, it is an amazing day here this weekend in Chowchilla. Johnny Heidemann almost 6 miles an hour above your own world record for mile an hour, approaching 180 miles.
Well, I can't believe that, considering there's quite a bit of debris down at the start line, and you look at that and you go, boy, I hope it's going to clear it and make it through it all right, but evidently it's not hindering a thing today on this Laneco machine.
Well, he did get some good bite off of whatever that debris was. It was hooked up, no doubt about it. We'll continue on here. Top alcohol flat. Steve Westerfield, who was in 3 finals a year ago, will line up next to Mr. Jones.
Steve Westerfield gave that championship a ride last year, coming down to the last couple events of the season, and here we go. Nice side-by-side run for a while, and then Jones falls back, and Westerfield will go sailing into the second round. How about 7:08 on the elapsed time, 1:59 the speed.
Steve Westerfield keeping the momentum rolling along. 08's looking pretty good for you so far.
Well, actually, it's a little slow for us today. I did kind of stick the boat in a little bit, got a couple rollers out there, and just kind of trying to be conservative and not mess the run up.
What's going through your mind? I mean, you got the big boys here, and it seems like everybody's turning it up here mid-season.
What's going through my mind? I need about a half a second.
Those half seconds are hard to come by, especially when you have people in the category like these two guys. Class champions, both of them, Don Ermshar and Don Bowsher. Don Ermshar, the defending champion of this event, 2 years running. As you take a look at his Lucas Oil-backed machine, Bowsher pulls the lid down. He's ready for battle.
Don Ermshar qualified number 2, and normally you'd think from that spot you wouldn't have Bowsher in round number 1. Bowsher struggled, but whoa, that was a wild ride for Bowsher. He's had handling problems in qualifying, which was part of the reason he was down at the bottom of the ladder. Don Ermshar, 664, 164, maybe even more impressive, that 036 light.
Take a look at this. Bowsher on the right-hand side is going to get just a little bit of air. After that thing settles right here, it starts to fly, and just that quickly hooks an edge. He got really lucky that happened early on in the run. Otherwise, that one would be toothpicks.
Don Ermshar, everything seems to be coming together for you. Great reaction time, .036.
Yeah, we were pretty lucky out there this morning. I knew that Don was going to be cutting the light, and Don Bowsher, and he was just a little behind me, 041 I think it was, so it was almost dead even. But the boat ran really good, and the water was nice, and we're ready.
Don said he almost went upside down. You look like you got a little problem on the back end.
We lost a burst panel about 1,100 feet, but that's an easy fix, and we did exactly what we needed to do. We needed to get the points leader out in the first round, and we were successful with that. So we're on the march. Hopefully by the time we get back from Augusta, this points thing will be back under control.
Ken Stout, Alan Reinhart, and Terry Boyd bringing you all the action. Top alcohol hydro semifinals. You talked about it before. Kent Price doing a great job. The number 1 qualifier got the first round win and now gets a bye run here in the semifinals. He's going to go right to the finals.
There are 2 different schools of thought on a bye run. 1, you can use it as test and tune, or 2, you can just come up and idle down the track. As a matter of fact, in IHBA, you don't have to take a bye run if you don't want to. I see Kent's school of thought is stand on the gas.
Boy, and stand on the gas he did. 5:44, 2:17.28, quickest lap of the weekend.
How about a guy from the Midwest, Kansas City, middle of winter, no chance to fine-tune a boat because it's cold, it's snowy, is right in the pocket here. Back-to-back seasons. Can it get any better for you?
No, but you know what? You can't take it for granted. We're gonna have to step it up, and I fell asleep on the light there on that bye run. We can't do that. So I've got a little bit of work to do. The crew's doing a great job, so we're just hoping we're gonna be in there.
We'll continue on here. Top alcohol hydro. This is the other side of the ladder. Darren Dunnigan and Kevin Kinsley. Kinsley trying to find a little bit of time as well, along with Darren Dunnigan, to see if they can keep pace with who they're going to have to meet in the final no matter what happens.
Now, Kent Price has definitely had the best boat here all weekend. Let's see who his opponent's going to be in the final round, and let's see if they can close that performance gap just a little bit. Capsule's down, countdown's on. Another good reaction time for Kevin Kinsley. And another wire-to-wire job. Kinsley will run in the final. His number 571 at 204. Not quite in Price territory, but getting closer.
Kevin Kinsley going into the final round. It's going to be you and Kent Price, a guy who's absolutely been dominating all year.
Yeah, he's running really well. We're going to have to step our program up to keep up with him this next round. But you know what? I'm just glad to be in the finals.
Right before you went up for the semifinals, I happened to be up by the in-ramp. You got your parachute rolled out. You're trying to repack your chute on the basically on the in-ramp, and you got a welder in your hand. What was going on?
Well, we found a crack in the strut, and luckily there's a gentleman here that had a welder let me borrow it, so I get underneath there and heli arc it up, so we were good to go for this next round.
A little unnerving when you got to pack your chute just before your run?
Nah, it's just part of the game, you know. I would like to say I'd like to dedicate that round to John Fry. His dad passed away a year ago today, and he's out here helping me. He goes all over the country with me, my funny car and the drag boat, and just want to thank him for being a best friend.
Stay with us. When we come back, it'll be the semifinals of Top Alcohol Flat. We're here at the T-Shirts Unlimited Super Nationals with the Lucas Oil IHBA Drag Boat Racing Series. Time now for the semifinals of the Flatties, but first, let's go behind the scenes.
Anytime you come to a Lucas Oil IHBA drag boat race, you probably notice Steve Westerfield. He's freakishly tall. How tall? Well, I'm 6'3". You draw your own conclusion. Steve, when it comes to capsule boat racing, I would imagine that caused a lot of problems for you and modifications to be able to get inside of a capsule boat.
Well, Terry, we sure did. We had to make several modifications and lengthening the actual length of the cage itself, the angle of the steering wheel to make clearance for my left knee to control that down pedal, and also just creating a bigger seat for me. And then we came back in with the help of Henry from IHBA and gave us a lumbar custom built seat, support seat, which was very comfortable.
Steve, anything else that you had to change on the boat for as far as the interior?
Well, we did have to take the roll cage, cut the height of it, and extend it a little bit and get it to the highest point as we could. But all in all, that was really about it.
So it's a tight ride for a guy who, like I said, I'm 6'3". I'm not sure how tall Steve is.
Well, I really am 6'3". But I do want to add one more thing. I did have to take yoga lessons.
All right, Top Alcohol Flat round 2. Let's continue on here. Johnny Heidemann will get the bye run, as we mentioned before. Another very important round of round 1. He made it happen. And then we'll have Don Ermshar and Steve Westerfield. They're up next, and these two guys battled a lot 1 year ago.
Ermshar, who's the number 2 qualifier and is the champion from last season coming in, but has not had a very good start to the 2008 season. You heard him say, we got to get back east and get this points thing under control. He can do himself some good if he can beat Westerfield here. I don't believe either one of those guys are going to be bragging about their reaction times, but as far as the lapse time, Don Ermshar gets the job done. 671, 161 the speed to a 698 for Westerfield.
Let's go on board with our Greater Austin Development replay. He's going to fly the nose here, had the nose pretty high up. Then gets it settled down. Was a little bit behind Westerfield at the start, tracked him down, and made a spectacular run.
Well, when we last talked with you, Don Ermshar, you said, you know what, I think I got a handle on getting this points things turned around. And I'll tell you what, the race you just had with Steve Westerfield is about as close as it's going to get.
Yeah, it was a close race, but I felt pretty confident. The boat's running really good today, and so we got the 1 and 2 guys out now, so that's going to really help a bunch.
Let me ask you this. I mean, a lot of people have been talking about how you redid the whole program going into 08. What's different about this week? Does it just take that many races to kind of tune it in and get it ready?
Well, we knew you folks with the television was going to be here for sure, and I have to thank Lucas Oil for the television programs that they're doing, and you guys for doing them, and the Lucas Oil products, ATTA, performance water meters. All these guys have all pulled together. Nobody gave up on us, and everything's doing really good. We've got Mike Boyce here from Oklahoma today, and Rick Daniel and Mike Hoffman and Phyllis. The whole crew's here, and everybody was pumped up and said, let's go to Chowchilla and bring one home.
He's going to have a shot at it here. We'll take a look at our bye run. Keep in mind, Johnny Heidemann set a leg on the mile-per-hour record at that amazing 179-mile-per-hour pass. Needs to run 178 to back it up.
Watch Heidemann's boat. He always has the nose of that thing very high. That's minimal drag with just about a foot in the back of the boat in the water. Was it enough? Nope, not quite. Not a bad run. 671, as a matter of fact, identical to the thou what Ermshar ran.
Can't do much better than a .005 reaction time. Johnny Heidemann kind of in that, and I hate to say driver's seat because it's obvious you're in the driver's seat, but you definitely have a leg up on a record today.
Yeah, the leg is great, and the guys really like to see me back it up. And yeah, in the back of my mind, we're trying, but we're also trying to get a good reaction time and get a good ET there. I think Don and I both ran 671s there, so I'm not even sure who's got lane choice. They're going to have to digit it out on the slip, but I think both lanes are pretty even today, and it's going to be a battle.
We were just talking because I happen to notice that you're a little more antsy than you normally would be. You're pacing a little bit, which is understandable. You almost went 180 today in something that you refer to as an aerodynamically designed Frisbee.
Yeah, I've always said these things are nothing more than a supercharged Frisbee, and what I mean by that is they don't always, you take 10 runs in one of these things, and about 2 or 3 of these runs over 170 are real ugly, they're real hard to control, and it's tough. We've got the record now. More importantly today would be to get another win. It's been a 5-year drought for us, and we've got the good opportunity right now.
Couple of things that could happen for Johnny Heidemann. Yes, he could end a 5-year dry spell, and he could break his own record. We'll find out together coming up in a couple of minutes.
Top Alcohol Hydro. It's the money round, baby. This is where everybody wants to be. Kevin Kinsley will line up alongside Kent Price. Kent Price has been the man all weekend long. It's time now for Kevin to step up the program.
Kevin Kinsley said in the last round, we need to find about a half a second. Well, if he found it, he's going to have a shot at it. If not, it's liable to be a long quarter mile for that boat because the Black Dragon has been breathing fire since he got here.
It's been a long time for Kevin Kinsley. He has not won in a Top Alcohol Hydro since the year of 2000 when he won the championship.
Red light start for Price. He had the best boat. He squeezed the tree and he fouled out, and Kevin Kinsley will leave with the trophy.
Kent Price on a wild ride. Let's talk to our winner.
Hanging out with Kevin Kinsley, and what an amazing day it's been. We started our day off kind of in the cockpit of your boat earlier today, give us a little safety demonstration. Then we catch up with you on the way to the in-ramp. You're doing a little bit of welding and chute packing, and then all of a sudden, bam, you end up winning today. And yeah, it was a red light, but nonetheless, you also learned how far you can push that bullet.
Oh yeah, she's wounded a little bit, but you know, you got running people quality of Ken and them. And Ron Deems and all them, I mean, you gotta step on it and find its boundaries, you know. And I think we found it this weekend. But you know, there's still more left in the boat. We got some other combination we're gonna try. Ralph Core helped us with a new fuel system this weekend, and you know, but just glad to be in the finals again. It's been a long time. I'm happy for my team. It sure is nice to get back on top again. You know, it's just it's a good feeling. It keeps the team pumped and the morale high, and it lets the guys work harder at the shop. You know, that's what counts.
Congrats. Let's take a look at the points here. Kent Price still on top. Kevin Kinsley now in second place. And Darren Dunnigan rounds out the top 3.
So Kent Price, the favorite in the Alcohol Hydro class, could not close the deal. Let's find out if Johnny Heidemann could do it in the flat bottoms.
It'll be Johnny Heidemann and Don Ermshar. These two guys have battled for so many years. Of course, that record's still dangling up there. But as we heard from Johnny Heidemann, it's not about the record here. He wants to end that 5-year winless drought. His last win coming in the World Finals of 2003.
Don Ermshar took Don Bowser in the first round, Steve Westerfield in the second round, and now he's got Johnny Heidemann in the final round. That's a nightmare day for any boat racer.
The Nightmare out front right now, and he's going to bring home a win. Congratulations to Johnny Heidemann. He ends the 5-year drought, and the boat has just been deathly consistent today.
Johnny Heidemann, you've gone from antsy to ampsy, man. You are literally dancing on the front of your boat. The 5-year schneid, it's over. 5 years without a victory by 1/10 of a second margin.
No, that's great. You know, you get to the point where you just don't think you're going to win again, and the guys just keep putting the weekends in there on this thing. And, you know, Earl and Todd and Dave and Al and all the guys that have been around with us, I got so many people to thank, and you can't thank them all. And it's my parents. It's a real emotional day for us. Don Ermshar is the man. His brother Jim I really looked up to. as far as I'm concerned, he's a big help in me still racing one of these machines after my accident 10 years ago, and I just love the guys. Love the whole class that I run with. We're just a bunch of big brotherhood, and just a great day.
Got to tell you, man, you are very emotional, and rightfully so. You told us earlier today, man, you're not comfortable going more than 170. You took it right up to that 170 margin, and that's what it took to win today.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, we would have taken more mile an hour, but that's all that the air was giving us. That was all it had. So, yeah, that number will just hang out there for a leg for another day, and maybe we'll break it again sometime.
Tell you what, take a close-up, the quivering lip. The tears are about ready to flow. 5 years without a win. Johnny Heidemann, well-deserved, my friend. Congratulations.
Johnny Heidemann, his father Chucky, the rest of the team, just super individuals. Congratulations to them. Don Boucher on top of the point, Steve Westerfield, and then Johnny Heidemann steps up into third place.
Other sportsman winners in River Racer, it was Chuck Armand. Stock Eliminator was Brett Reinke, and the Modified Trophy went home with Rick Beretta.
In Top Eliminator, it was Ralph Richardson, then Pro Eliminator Alan Forsyth, and Pro Comp Eliminator Brad Parrott. Congratulations to all of our winners out here at Chowchilla. For Terry Boyd and Alan Reinhardt, I'm Ken Stout. This show has been produced in high definition by Lucas Oil Studios.